Blockchain for Business, a decentralized peer-to-peer consensus platform. I am your instructor, Professor Solomon Nagash. This is the welcome for the course content, what we'll be doing this semester. In this class, we have the 6 course learning outcomes that you can see in here, and 8 modules that are also listed on the right side, as you can see. There's also a YouTube video I recorded that you can actually go to YouTube by clicking on the link there and be able to access. I gave a broader introduction about blockchain for business, a 9-minute YouTube video you can go see in the link that is provided there. In the introduction, I said this is a decentralized peer-to-peer consensus platform. That's what we're going to unpack throughout the course. What is decentralized? What is peer-to-peer? What is consensus? So we're going to unpack that as we go through the course. Another major thing to consider is public blockchain versus private blockchain. So we also look through those. So the public blockchain, we call it permissionless. The private blockchain, we call it permissioned, like a membership. Kind of, you have selected group that they have to be members of that group. So that's the 2 differentiators we're going to look at. The overall platform we're going to use is called Hyperledger Fabric, originally developed by IBM and then given to the open source community and now managed by Linux Foundation. As you can see in the chart there are 3 elements we see in here. There's the blockchain, the public blockchain that we know. IBM took that and put what they call Hyperledger Fabric. That's the bottom layer that you can see is Hyperledger Fabric running and working directly on the blockchain. But that's a bit complex for introduction class. So what IBM did was they put a layer on top of the fabric. So fabric is connected to the blockchain, and then on top of the fabric, they put what we call Hyperledger Composer. So, and then above that, you can see the business application. So we're going to run business applications and interact with the Hyperledger Composer, which is a user-friendly interface. That's the user interface that you're going to be working with in the labs that we're going to be talking about in this course. So you're not going to see under the hood until the last lecture, which I'm going to show you at the last lecture. But for the most part, you're going to focus on the business case and work on that. So module 1 would be talking about the Blockchain Essentials badge. So this is an IBM certified badge. It will take you through the concepts of what blockchain is about. So you would look at those. I give you in that module, I'll give you the details of how to connect and what to do. So you go through that module. Some of the concepts I listed here are shared ledger, smart contract, privacy services, and trust. So those are concepts you're going to learn in this module. So we'll talk about that separately. The second module, I take a university case. Suppose you are graduated from Kennesaw, you got a diploma. How do we know that that is your actual diploma? So we'll talk about that. In the current scenario, what do? We use intermediaries. How does blockchain help us remove the intermediaries and build trust? So that's the second module we're going to be talking about. The third module is a use case about airline ticket. You buy an airline ticket, you go check in, you travel, your bag goes with you, and you check your bag out. How can we improve that using blockchain? Be one of the first labs you're going to do. I will show you how to do it in the second module with the university. And then when we get to the airline module, that would be lab 1 you will be interacting and working with. Module 4. In module 4, we talk about IoT, Internet of Things, and supply chain, and how smart contracts are used. In IoT, there are no people. It's just devices talking to each other. For example, your dishwasher or your washing machine can order detergent based on the contract you set up. In supply chain, usually we do it in business-to-business interaction. I have a business. I want to order office supplies, for example. Let's say I have a favorite or a preferred vendor that I want to use for my supplies. So we set up a smart contract that would automatically do these things. I run out of print paper, so the print paper smart contract would get enacted, and it will be activated, and then it will order for me by the contract that we have agreed between the business one, which is the office, business two, which is the vendor. The two smart contracts would work together and be able to reorder, and the payment on all that happens in that process. So we'll talk about that in Module 4. In Module 5, I'm taking healthcare use case. How does blockchain help us in healthcare is what we'll be talking about here. So your patient record, you go to your primary physicians, he orders some drugs for you, he orders some tests for you, you do those, but you have control. Which clinic you want access to, which physician do you want to give this access to? You have control, not someone else. So you control how your medical record is handled or used for this purpose. So that's in Module 5 that we're going to be talking about. Module 6 takes financial technology, fintech, as a use case. Banks, you and I, day to day, we buy things. Which credit card did you use? Which vendor did you use? What store did you go to? So we look into those things. I have, for example, 5 different credit cards. They're owned by different banks. So when I buy with those credit cards, I change depending on what I'm buying. I use different credit cards. You do the same. So how does that get settled? Fund settlement is what we look at. Module 7, in this module, we would look at governance, voting. So board of directors get to vote on different options. This could apply also for elections that we do as presidential election, local elections, that can apply too. In this example, we're looking at the board of directors have several options to choose from. I think in the example here, we have 3 options. So the board of directors need to vote on that. How does blockchain help in voting? So we have 6 steps here. We go through those steps and actually cast a vote, count the vote, and it would be able to give us the winner in this process. So the blockchain for governance is what we're going to look at in this. In this last one, I would also introduce the Ethereum, the public blockchain, and I'll show you how board of directors can actually using an actual code, Solidity code from Ethereum, and how it works in the public blockchain as well. In Module 8, we're going to conclude this by having you go through an IBM blockchain badge, foundation badge. So when we started with the essentials, that's going to give you the concepts. At the end of the concept, you take a test and be able to get a badge, and that grade is what I'm going to record for that first test. The last one, Module 8, is going to be blockchain foundation badge. So you would go through the same process. You go through the IBM site and be able to take the lessons, listen to the videos, the descriptions. After that, you'll get a test. You pass the test and you'll be able to get a grade. In both badges, you can take it as many times as you want. So you really want to drill down into the concepts, be able to understand. So you can take it as many times as you like, but you have to produce a badge at the end. When you get a badge, whatever grade you got, that's what I'm going to record. I want to end by emphasizing what the takeaways are for you. You would be able to see what the contents of this course is. That's a takeaway for you. And then we will be reviewing each of these modules one by one. And the rest of, as the semester progresses, we will be looking each one of them in detail. I also wanted to describe what is not included in here. 2 things I wanted to highlight: cryptocurrency and wallet. So cryptocurrency is a payment system, a digital payment system for paying for something. For example, Bitcoin, that is used in the Bitcoin blockchain, and also Ether, which is used in the Ethereum blockchain. So those 2 on wallets in cryptocurrency in general is not something I'm going to talk about in this class, so you know. The other item we're not going to be talking about in this class is wallet, but I just wanted to give you a heads up what wallets are. Wallets are managing your digital currency. Your Bitcoin or your Ether is managed by software called wallet. So wallet is basically like your wallet. It will tell you how much you have and what different fractions of currencies that you have. For example, I have a 50 cent. I have $1, I have a $5 bill, I have a $10 bill. So those fractions are based on what the transaction you make. The wallet will keep track of it, as well as how much you have, who you interacted with. That will be tracked in a wallet. So that is a digital wallet that is not included in this class, but you can also research and be able to get that information. I also provided you with my contact information for further inquiry if you would like to follow up. I'll see you in the next lecture. Have a good one.